Senator Bernie Sanders received incredibly big and important endorsements from 3 members of the squad, the freshman Democrats. This is important because there was some worry that maybe they wouldn't endorse him, maybe they would wait until the Democratic candidate wins the primary and then they'd endorse him, but that is not what happened. You have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, all 3 of them endorsing Bernie Sanders. The only remaining member of the squad is Ayanna Pressley. She has not made an endorsement yet. Now, Ocasio-Cortez, according to The Hill, will join Sanders at his Bernie's Back rally just outside the freshman lawmakers' congressional district. And one other thing to note is that Ilhan Omar put out a video statement already supporting Bernie Sanders and endorsing him as the presidential candidate for the Democrats. And here's that video right now.
I am so proud to endorse Senator Bernie Sanders for president. Senator Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that has built a movement and continues to build a movement that transcends gender, ethnicity, religion, and we know that in order to take on Trump, we're going to need a unifier, someone who understands what the fight looks like, and someone who is ready to defeat him. I'm one of the people that was inspired by the movement that the senator has built. There was an America that I dreamed about. There's an America that most people believe in. It is an ideal. It's not reality yet. And he started the work of organizing for that America. And that has inspired me to get involved and run myself to help others also organize for that America.
A couple of things here. First of all, that's weird. I thought she was anti-Semitic, but here she is endorsing the Jewish candidate. Oh, maybe that was a lie spread by Nancy Pelosi and Democratic leadership and then picked up by Donald Trump. Yes. Yeah. So, well, Pelosi started it, Trump picked it up. It was a nice tag team effort. But no, it turns out, no, she really wants the Jewish candidate to win. Funny. It's almost as if she cares about the policies and doesn't care about race or ethnicity, et cetera, like the Republicans who are obsessed with it. So anyway, now onto the substance of it. So why are they doing this? Because Bernie had their back.
He inspired me to get involved. That's really the line that stood out to me the most, because would young progressive women feel as empowered as they did to go out there to challenge Democratic incumbents, to go against this power structure on the Democratic side, to try to represent the American people? I mean, they might, but I think that Bernie Sanders is the one who started an incredibly important movement in the country. It inspired people to run for Congress. It inspired people to get politically active. It inspired people to demand more in terms of policy and not settle for scraps that some of these candidates have put out in the past. I love this. This is great, and you're right. He had their back. He stood with Ilhan Omar when she was being attacked by Donald Trump, and now they're showing that they have his back, and I think that's important.
Okay, so some good, smart progressives that I know behind the scenes say, well, they're worried about that, whether Bernie can actually build a sustainable movement and does the infrastructure that's necessary for it. And they think Warren is great at that behind the scenes. They're right about Warren. She is great about that behind the scenes. And for example, the lone holdout from the Just Democrats is, at least of the freshman class, is Ayanna Pressley. And Warren helped her a lot because Warren is also great at going in and helping progressives, including the Just Democrat there, and also Warren endorsed Jessica Cisneros and Marie Newman, who are both Just Democrats running against Democratic incumbents. Okay, so credit where credit is due. But if you're criticizing Bernie for not building the movement enough, well, that obviously isn't true. And so you can say Warren is better at some of the behind the scenes stuff, fair enough point, okay? But look at this. He built this whole thing. I mean, for 40 years, he was the tip of the spear.
Yes.
And he would not move, he would not budge. He had these ideas and he pushed and he pushed and he created space for Justice Democrats, for Ocasio-Cortez, who by the way worked on his campaign. And then not only did he do that, after Ocasio-Cortez won the primary, her and Bernie Sanders went around the country campaigning for progressives, including in primaries. I remember when they were on this show supporting Brent Welder, who's another Justice Democrat in the middle of Kansas. And they were on here together. They fought together and he fought for them. So it makes all the sense in the world, and it's the right thing to do for them to now fight for him.
And for me, you mentioned 40 years of being the tip of that spear and pushing for these progressive ideals. He was doing that when these policy proposals were not popular at all, right? He was doing that in an era when equality for certain groups of people weren't even up for discussion, for the gay community, for individuals who've been disenfranchised. Like he's just been fighting the fight the longest. He's been consistent, and I think that and I've said this on the show before, I think he's the best candidate because of that. So I'm really happy to see progressive lawmakers, freshman Democrats support him in the way that they have.
Bernie Sanders did a gay rights protest back in 1986, and he got a lot of flack for that, and he took a lot of political hits for that, but he did it anyway. Now, the mainstream media celebrates the Hillary Clintons, the Barack Obamas, and the Joe Bidens for getting to Bernie's position in the year 2013.
I know.
He was there in at least 86, probably earlier than that. So, but he gets no credit. So in the real world, put aside the mainstream media who's so incredibly biased. In the real world, whether he wins or loses, and whether you're gonna vote for him or not, you might still think somebody's a better candidate today. But you can't dispute, the guy's a legend. For progressives, an absolute legend. And now AOC, Omar and Tlaib coming in now, also the timing matters. So right when he needs them, he has the health scare, everybody in the media is counting him out, and here comes the cavalry.
And he looked great last night, by the way.
He did, he looked fantastic. And to see that, and remember, of course, the original Justice Democrat, Ro Khanna, who's a campaign chair of Bernie Sanders, to see him help and get progressive movement up off the ground, and then for the Justice Democrats to come and arrive to the potential rescue.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to behold if you're a progressive. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.